Hello guys, and welcome to episode 6 of my Berezina campaign in Steel Division 2, playing on the Axis side. Previously, we made a very nice defense with the 2nd Battalion of the 34th Security Regiment. They managed to disorganize the 55th Motorized Rifle Battalion, the 3rd Guards Cavalry Corps, and the 7th Guards Mechanized Brigade. And now we're going to be looking at attacking these in order to break them down. So, we can only hit the 55th Motorized Rifle Battalion with the 2nd Battalion of the 34th. I believe that'll be the same for all of them, actually. That's rather disappointing. I was hoping I would be able to use the 659th Fortress Battalion to hit the 55th. That would have been so good if we could have managed to do that. Now, the 7th Guards Mechanized Brigade, can they be reinforced by anything? They can. These guys can't. Okay, so we could attack the 3rd Guards Cavalry Corps. That would be the best one to attack on that top side. On the bottom side, none of these can be hit as far as I'm aware. Interesting that they are actually digging in here, though. Maybe they'll stop being so aggressive. Regardless, I think what we're going to do is attack the 3rd Guards Cavalry Corps on the top side here with the 2nd Battalion of the 34th Security Regiment. And hopefully that is enough to just break that down. It is. It did use up some action points, but we actually ended up getting surrounded. I don't think that's the end of the world. Just because the only unit that can attack us next turn will be the 2nd Battalion of the 9th Guards Mechanized Brigade. I could actually attack the 80th Flak Regiment, which would be less than ideal, but I can always move up the 659th Fortress Battalion and the 57th Auxiliary Police Battalion on that top side. So let's go ahead and do that. Gruppe Lindel, I'll probably keep there to reinforce the 80th Flak Regiment with their 3 action points. Everything else down here is just going to stay where it is. I could potentially dig in the 5th runner. Let's go ahead and do that, since they kind of fill the gap there a little bit. I'm going to need maybe another unit further up. I guess I could maybe move down the 659th Fortress Battalion into the gap here to prevent them coming through. So I don't think I need 2 units on the top side, unless I use the 57th Auxiliary Police Battalion. But these guys really aren't very strong, but would stop the push through. I don't want them to be able to be attacked or initiated on. The placement there would be kind of awkward. Maybe we could go to here. Let's move down to there. Just stop the 2nd Battalion of the 9th Guards Mechanized Brigade squeezing through. And then we can just kill off the 55th on the top side with the Fortress Battalion. Alright, further down on the bottom side, I don't think there's much we really want to do. I may have to get my Tigers in a position to deal with all of these T-34-85s that are pushing up. Maybe I squeeze them forwards a little bit so they have the action points to reach some of these other units. But this one can probably dig in. This one needs to fall back slightly. This one can start digging in. And that one I can probably keep where it is for now, without digging in. We'll just maintain that with the 3 action points. Otherwise, the rest of these units are all in position. Nothing to really do with the artillery battalion unless we want to get aggressive. So that's it. 25 points to spend. Is there anything we want to spend those points on? We could get the 25th Panzergren Regiment 13, which would give us some high veterancy Panzer Grenadiers. But I think honestly I'm just going to save it, and then we can maybe get something a bit better later down the line. For example, the Bomber Wing maybe. Then again, what else would actually be useful? The Recon Panzer Battalion? It's not that useful. What about the reserve? The Tank Destroyer Battalion? They're pretty good. Maybe we could bring these guys in. That would give us some more AA as well, some more 88s. That would be, yeah, actually ideal Yeah, we'll wait for the reserves. Bring those in. Cool. Alright, let's move on to the next turn.
The enemy's aim is clearly focused on Minsk and Molodechno. Hold them at all costs.
It's all down to us. The 2nd SS Police Regiment has come under attack, and this is prime for me using the 2nd Battalion of the 31st Panzer Regiment, so they are going to be in this attack, and I might also bring up Battlegroup von Anhalt, which will provide us with a lot of Pak 36s that we can use to ambush, as well as some extra infantry to put in the front line. Unless we want to use the Territorial Infantry Battalion, these do give us some like Landesschutz and Ost, which will be good for filling up the front line instead of the SS Schupo initially. Then again, that is a lot of infantry that won't be able to come in Phase B, so we'll use most of those up in Phase A. So let's use Battlegroup von Anhalt to back up this attack. Alright, it's tactical battle. Jump in with player control. Alright, so what I'm going to do, guys, is get down my defenses, and I'll be back with you guys in just a bit. My defenses are all set up. Let's go through them. So on the left-hand side, we just have a Panzer IV here, alongside a couple of Schupo providing the extra veterancy there with a 37mm AT bunker. Another Schupo here, a couple Pak 36s, a couple Schupo that are going to go into the heavy cover here, as well as a Panzer IV that can help out with the 75mm bunker. And there's a couple Schupo here, which have their own trenches just to kind of hold things back, with the Pak 50 kind of ambushing the road. A lot of my units, actually, worth pointing out, is that I'm going for like a more ambush style in this case, because I believe they have the ISU 152s, which means they'll start to attack us from range, and we won't be able to penetrate them very easily with like a Pak 75 bunker, for example. So they'll end up killing the bunker before it even has any effect. So I've made this 75mm, for example, in a position where it can ambush units coming up this road, and also any units that get closer. It should have full penetration on an ISU 152 at close range at least. Got a few Panzerboxers actually hanging about just to provide crits onto any vehicles. Schupo there with another Panzer IV, Schupo with Panzer IVs and bunkers. We got the MG bunker there as well for closer range engagements. Then I've got Schupo kind of just hanging out near the flags. Panzerboxer there again to provide some criticals and so on, just to help these Pak 37mm ambush. They're both facing to the right hand side here, to kind of catch things coming down this road with side shots, but also things that are closer up. Also place down all this barbed wire to prevent things from moving too fast over the front line. I've kind of put them down the sides of the road, so if the AI decides to like unload on the road, then they have to go through barbed wire to get off it, which will slow them down quite a bit. Then we've got all of these trenches kind of covering the light forest approaches, along with a 37mm that's going to be helping cover those. There's also a couple bunkers on this right hand side. Yeah, there's only one here. We got the 75mm with the two Schupo, Commandant, Panzer IV, and then on the right side we can see they've got double Schupo, Schupo with the Panzer IV as well there. Panzerboxer just going to be in this building, should be able to provide crits onto anything that breaks through here, which is unlikely to be much, and if anything does I can move forwards the Panzer IV and just hit it, which is why I've put the double line of barbed wire here, just to slow down any infantry that does decide to come through the heavy forest. But I've got a few Aufklärer that are going to be pushing up to points across the front here, so that we can see what's coming and react accordingly. Let's get this underway. I do have plenty more Panzer IVs available throughout the game, so we'll make good use of those. I do have Gepards as well that would be good if they focus a lot on infantry. Got some Pioneers that we can bring up with half tracks to control areas like this where we don't really have anything in between. We'll have to wait and see what they actually choose to use. That there is an IS-1, I think. Or... yeah, it is an IS-1. Okay. A couple ISU 152s as well on that left-hand side. So if this 75mm right now was engaging all these units coming down the road, which I could have made it do by putting it here, for example, the ISU 152 would start opening up on that with the 2-star veterancy and really do a lot of damage. So just as well that we put our defenses as I did. Might need some units for the center here though. I'm going to bring up a few Panzer IVs. We'll bring up an Aufklärer, Panzer IV, and we'll bring up 2 standard Panzer IVs to the center for the time being, since it looks like they're going to push a lot of infantry through there. On the right hand side, no problem. Left hand side, we did just get a kill there. I'm not even sure what killed that, honestly. Because it wasn't my Pack 36 there on return fire. Maybe it was my 37mm had line of sight. Actually, it might be the Panzer IV, maybe. Oh, big old artillery coming in. That's going to kill my Superführer straight up. Damn. Well, the Panzerbuchs actually just got a kill onto the AA vehicle here, which is really nice. That artillery, damn. Ouch. That hurt. Move forwards to Panzer IV and engage this OB. It will have penetration on our Panzer IV, but I'm hoping that the machine guns plus the main gun should be able to get the job done before it kills us. Panzer IVs are pretty good against these sort of support weapons. There we go. Transmission damage, I'll take it. Damn. Look at this. This is ridiculous. There's Andrushes, I guess. They're really hitting our defenses hard. But so far, not too bad. The Avtos will kill the trooper at close range, but not much I can really do about that, especially with the ISU-152 firing at it from up on the hill. We got the shooter knock there from the Pack 37, which is okay. Panzer IV could do with being fixed up, but it doesn't really have to move too far, so that's absolutely fine. Let's get the Pioneers up in here to help us out, and in the open we'll just need more Panzer IVs. Bring up a Panzer IV Führer. I'm actually going to bring up a couple of my commanders as well. I do have a Panther commander actually. I didn't even see that. We should definitely have him on the field. I should probably bring in a commandant to the left-hand side. Wow, no way. AI sniping my Pack 36s even though I haven't even used them yet. That's pretty rough. Very hard AI, everybody. And the 50mm does have penetration onto the ISU-152, but it was already pinned when it got engaged, so yeah, now it's very dead. My Panzer IV might be able to do the job though, so we'll move that up. I'm going to have the Schupo move back towards this bunker here. Things are being broken down slowly but surely. Did we manage to pick off the ISU-152, or is it just hidden at the moment? I think it's just hidden at the moment. But either way, Panzer IV's engagement from the hill will hold back those infantry for the time being. On the right hand side we did get the gun jam onto one of the ISUs, which is good. We just got the spalling hit as well. Oh, but that's no good at all. Okay, well, gonna need a new Panzer IV on this right hand side, I can tell you that much. We'll bring up the Aufkladder Panzer IV because I think the Schupo might be dead by the time we get there. One of our Panzer IVs just died in the middle. That might have been to the OB that was there. And this side here has just been absolutely obliterated. Get a couple more Panzer IVs. Gonna need some more infantry though, so we'll use Battlegroup von Anhalt to bring in some Sturm Pioneers, or normal Pioneers is probably a good idea there. It's absolutely fine. I'm probably gonna bring round my Panzer IVs to the left hand side here to start controlling some of these Apari and so on. And you can see my plan with the barbed wire working quite well here. The Schupo, they're gonna definitely get wrecked here quite quickly indeed. The Kazaki PPSH pushing forwards with the help of an IS-1 at close range. The MG bunker's probably not long for this world. Coming under some heavy, heavy fire here. I guess I could move over this Panzer IV for the time being. Damn. This is ridiculous. Like, let's get these guys unloaded before we lose them entirely. I can get my half-tracks to continue zooming up the road ASAP. I'm going to have to be careful of the Kazaki PPSH coming through the heavy cover there. Wow. But yeah, those rocket strikes so far have been absolutely brutal. And the Panzer IV dead. That was just here. That was the Kazaki I was literally just talking about. Unless it was the ISU 152s. They do have the 2-star veterancy. We're also being hit by the PTRS at the same time, so that's also not helping very much. I'm not too concerned about losing Panzer IVs just because they are always going to kind of trade with things like ISU 152s and so on. And the engagement up on that hill is good for the time being. Let's just have these pioneers spread out and try and take back some ground. I'm going to try and use the Panther specifically to finish off the ISU 152. So I'm going to move it to the left. Actually, there is still one in the center. Never mind, we're going to have to take that out at some point. I'll just give the Panther A an attack order. I'm going to move these down to the low ground, just so they can't be hit from range. Also, there is the Andrusha coming in. Those shots aren't even close, and they're still doing morale damage. Well, my Panther A actually is in a pretty rough spot against the ISU 152. Because if it gets pinned, it's going to die. We can only really engage the ISU 152 when we have sort of nothing pinning us down, basically. Let's get these Panzer IVs to move through and getting into an ambush position with this like IS-1 and the ISU 152. A 50mm bunker there can't penetrate at the moment. Commandant's in a bit of a shitty spot. It's kind of annoying. I want to move him away, but he will die as soon as I leave that. He'll die anyway, but I don't know. Guess we'll see. Actually, never mind. These both have PPSHs, don't they? Let's move him back. The mortar fire coming in right on target. That is a classic. Okay, right, let's get the pioneers into cover here. This has been a rough old defense so far. Now, is there any chance of penetrating this? We do have some penetration, but I think that's because it's showing side armor. Oh, here comes the Andrusha again. Oh, there goes the Panzer IV. I guess these pioneers maybe killed one unit, and they became the target of that Andrusha strike. Rather unfortunate. Right, let's maybe try and push up to the point where we can engage this ISU 152. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, these Panzer IVs need to get into position. I'll move this one round as well. We got the IS-1, nice. Very, very nice. That's what we like to see. A Schieberfitter, unfortunately, going down. This has been a ridiculous fight so far. Nothing we have to deal with Androshas at range, which is the main reason that I'm not bringing in any mortars or anything. We do have two 82mm mortars. 81mm mortars, sorry. But they really won't do anything. They'll just get counter-batteried almost immediately. So, really not worth investing in those. The main thing, just try and keep these Panzer IVs alive, use them to break down the enemy armor, and at the moment we're doing quite well in cleaning up a lot of the ISU 152s, and once we do that, we'll be in a really nice position And the Su-86 Command coming in. I don't think that has much penetration against Panther 8 at this range. But now the ISU-152s are dealt with, I probably want to get that Panther back onto the high ground. I'm just going to reverse it into cover and then I'll move it up. But these guys can all move forwards. They might get killed by Su-85s, but that's fine. I'd much rather have them get over here and help with a lot of this infantry. And these guys probably want to fall back. Su-85s at max range are definitely going to do a lot of damage against Panzer IVs. So I'll avoid that engagement as much as possible. The other one was already crew killed, so I couldn't move him back. But yeah, having these Panzer IVs attack to the right side is a good idea. As long as I don't let them kill my tanks. Okay. There's another Su-85. Move over the Panther A. Did I not kill that? Maybe I didn't kill that. Anyway, we'll move over my Panther. I think that Andalusia strike will have stopped by the time we get there. And these pioneers are holding strong. Like it. It's going to be over in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But it is crazy, like, how intense this has been for the time we have been defending so far. It's only been like a 13-minute battle. It feels like it's been like a good 20-25 minutes already. Here comes the Andalusia again, guys. What's that going for? My poor Schupo here? The poor guy. He's on his own. Absolutely wrecked. And one nice thing about these Panzer IVs is they have so much MG ammunition, so even though they're out of HE shells, it doesn't particularly matter. We are actually shooting that ISU-152 in the ass with the Panzer IV here, so that's pretty nice. I probably want to just fall back with this Panzer IV for now, because the ISU-152 is coming through. Oh well, we'll just have to engage. Yeah, he wouldn't have got away with the engine damage, so just had to commit to that engagement. Let's bring over the Panzer IV and the Panzer IV-H here, because that is a large concentration of units. Bring up a couple more Panzer IVs here and there. And honestly, since there's only 1 minute left, we'll just start bringing in a wall of SS Schupo, because we can. It's all of them. I can start walking in. We've still got this group of Panzer IVs here, that's fine. This Panzer IV survived a rocket strike, so that's all well and good. Our defense has worked for the most part. Unfortunately, the loader knock here. The Panther A. Come on, get that kill. 84% hit chance. I think they don't have a great penetration chance against my Panther at this range. Shooter knock works fine. And we killed the ISU-152 on the right, which is good. Now, having the Aufklärer Panzer IV there is pretty important so that we can spot these infantry squads and the BTRS squads and so on, but there we have it. Major victory. 15 minutes 6 seconds. Took a lot of damage, we did, but we certainly made them pay. So, in terms of kills, the Aufklärer Panzer IV-J, they're doing well. My Panzer IV's doing well. The Panther A got a couple units for us, the ISU-152 and the Su-85. Losses, and the Russians did a lot of work. So they killed my Schupers and Panzerbuchsers, they killed the 2 Pak-36s that I brought in, before they even did anything. The ISU-152s killed plenty of Panzer IVs. And, well, I don't know. It looks like acceptable losses, honestly. Not too many Panzer IVs dead. And for every Panzer IV we lost, we more or less traded an ISU-152, so yeah, not too bad. And we killed the IS-1 as well, which is a good kill. So I'm happy to trade 11 SS Schupo, 3 Schupperführer Pioneer MG, and 8 Panzer IVs for 6 ISU 152s and an IS-1 plus all this extra stuff. So yeah, that was a decent defense. Also, they're all going to be disorganized, so that's great. And now we have a defense here on the top side. So the 1st Battalion of the 17th SS Police Regiment coming under attack from the 25th Motorized Rifle Battalion and the 1st Battalion of the 9th Guards Mechanized Brigade. They could reinforce with the tanks, so I'm going to bring in the 802nd Mixed AA Battalion, and we'll also use the 1st Rona Regiment here. Or actually, I guess I could bring in Battle Group Connor. We could bring in the Battle Group Connor. It's not a terrible idea, because I don't want to leave the 36th Police Regiment here on the bottom side without any extra defense from like the 1st Rona, for example. We could also bring in the aircraft, of course. And I think I'm going to save the aircraft for helping defending the 2nd Battalion of the 34th Security Regiment on the top side. Let's just bring in Battle Group Connor for now. We'll go with that. They are bringing in some aircraft. So it's going to be 2 units in Phase A, plus the aircraft. So they're going to have quite a lot of troops on the ground early on. But we do, of course, have our fortifications. I don't think I'm going to have to be too careful with the placement of the bunkers and so on, because we're not going to be engaged from range. So I am going to get those down and be back with you guys in just a sec. The defenses are set up, and this time around I focused on a lot of AA on the left hand side, because usually they bring in IL-2s on the left first, so started to account for that. We've got 3 88s here, some more 20mm, we've got plenty of flak-fillings hanging about as well, a couple more 88s on the right with more flak-fillings here, and all of the infantry you see is in trenches. We've got the bunkers spread out nicely, but they have all good line of sights down the road and so on. This bunch of T-34s is basically there so that they can both defend the road but also come out into the open if stuff starts to come across here as well. Let's just launch the battle, get this underway. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's just going to be a lot of infantry running towards us, plus a few aircraft coming in occasionally, but yeah, nothing crazy. Got Rona Führer on the left hand side. They're providing the extra veterancy here, and I have set up a command structure. We've got the Rona Commandant and the Rona Führer on the left. We've got Commandant here. Oh, it's actually going to be an LA-7. Oh, this isn't the unit that I thought it was. I thought it was going to be the IL-2s again, but it is in fact the 9th Guards Fighter Regiment. Well, we're going to be shooting down a lot of aircraft still, that's for sure. And I don't know how 3 flak-fillings failed to shoot down an LA-7, but that just happened. Let's move these over so they all have line of sight almost immediately. I forgot to put down some trenches for these Schupo. And these guys. Oh well, these guys are actually going to move forwards anyway to contest the flag. These ones, however, I'm probably just going to have to bring back into cover here. That's okay. The idea of pushing these guys up is just to secure a total defeat and make the game finish sooner than later. But we can just start having extra units coming in potentially. So let's see, what would I want to have on the front line? Or just the rest of the tanks would be a good idea. Maybe bring them in up here on this ridge. Let's do that. I also have a bunch of F-22s that I can bring in. Or the FK-296 here. That can counter battery. So we could purchase those, which I'm probably going to do. Because as you can see, they do have some artillery that is currently trying to kill my 88s that are up here in these gun pits. I do really love these sorts of positions. They look really cool. Because this is how they would kind of be dug in. Unless they were in more ambushing positions. But as AA, this is how they would be, for sure. Let's bring in those FKs. Actually, should we bring in the 122 mils first? I think that makes more sense. So bring those in the center, behind the hill. It might be an idea to have them with a leader, actually. Do I have any more leaders that I can drive in? This Ronafjorda, no. Alright, let's unload them all, say, like, around this hill. And we can just put a leader on top of the hill. Just here. A Ronafjorda there. That will provide the extra veterancy, make those all 3-star veterancy. And they'll be a lot better. But currently all that's happening is my bunkers here are firing away up this road and killing a lot of the units there. Got the MG bunker here. Firing away. This AT bunker actually is facing the right, as you can see if I click on it. It can aim up this road. That's the angle that it has. This one, meanwhile, is dealing with the left side as usual. I could, in fact, push quite aggressively towards the mortars. Maybe not onto the ZIS-3s, but it's fine. These ZIS-3s are absolutely awful. Let's bring in an Opa Blitz to pick up the Ronafjorda, because we're going to need that to resupply the 122 mils anyway. Then on the next tick, I'll probably bring in the F-22s. Bring in a few on that side, and we'll bring in a few on the other side. There goes another Cobra. It's just as well that we have our AA here for all of these aircraft. I thought I'd need the AA battalion for the tanks, but apparently not. I love watching these 88s fire. I really do. So satisfying. Satisfying sound. Satisfying to watch. All round satisfying. Right, I'm just going to move back these flak fillings. There's no point in just letting them get mortared and so on, so... There we go. Should put them on attack move orders so they actually shoot down these Cobras and stuff that come in. Alright, let's put these all onto counter battery. Just let them do their thing. Alright, and then bring this up as well. Let's get the last FK in. Bring in another Ronafjorda. Let's again bring it in with an Opa Blitz. I'll bring in one on the right side. I have another leader, Superfjorda, that'll do. Off we go. And not the best place to be. So much 3-star AA right now. Hopefully that does the job. I'm gonna make sure I micro this correctly. There we go. Do the same with these here. Make a little battery. It is quite far up, but the reason we're doing it like that is because they will be a lot more accurate. They'll have much less dispersion. Oh, there we go. 3-star veterancy on the 122 mils. It looks like we're gonna need more AA on this left side. Let's just bring in loads of AA here. Because somehow we didn't kill that unit that came in. These on counter battery. These on counter battery. I'll just leave them to it. There we go, LA7 down. Good. That mod Alto like firing at my F-22. And even if it isn't, we can still use that to fire back. Direct fire. Like that 82mm mortar still isn't taken out. Come under so much fire. Oh, there we go. Finally. Just start jinxing the enemy a bit more often. Jinx myself enough. Let's speed things up. I wonder if these targets is 3s. I assume they do. Any infantry that came up here as well would get absolutely wrecked. I could bring in my BA there. And let's move one of these tanks over here to engage the Motavtos as they come through. That's another mortar there. Nearly killed it, but total victory, 11 minutes, 133 kills to 0 losses. That's going to be a lot of aircraft kills though, included in that. Well, nicely done. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. 10 aircraft killed. Was this 3s, 5 82mm mortars. I destroyed one of them entirely. Happy with that. Let's see if we get attacked elsewhere. They haven't actually attacked towards Borisov yet. They keep like pushing all the units up. So, like, they're not really pushing into the town itself. They're kind of trying to break through on the top side. Which I guess kind of makes sense because it's a lot weaker there, but still, a bit strange. Regardless, time for us to do our work. Cannot wait. Right, let's get the 659th Fortress Battalion to destroy this disorganized unit. Boom, they are gone. We can maybe make some attacks through here, although actually saying that, a lot of them aren't actually able to be killed because they have 3 action points here all across the board. Okay. So, how are we going to do this then? We'll keep those dug in. The 57th Auxiliary Police Battalion probably wants to move up. I'm a little bit concerned about like the positioning here with the 80th Flak Regiment. I can move these up enough that we recover the 2nd Battalion of the 34th Security Regiment, but they're in a bit of a rough spot. And there's nothing really like preventing the 80th Flak Regiment from being attacked. I guess we do have Gruppe Lindl here with the Tigers if needs be. But moving those up could be a mistake. Not because they would be attacked, like, or I'd care if they got attacked, but because they'd only be able to reinforce in Phase B if they only had 2 action points left. I'm going to do it anyway. We can always bring in the aircraft there if we need to. Right, anyway, let's focus on this line. There's going to be some crazy stuff we can do here. So this unit, for example, we can hit with this unit. I'm going to move up the fortifications to that road. Actually, these guys can reinforce in phase A. Actually, that might not even be bad. We could take the opportunity to kill those. Unless I can attack somewhere else first. This is where artillery would come in handy. Maybe I start moving my artillery up to the top side. It's not like we can use them anywhere else. And if this area down here becomes relatively weak, I will try and break out eventually. Do some more damage. But my tigers are definitely going to have to start moving up. It's getting to the point where all of these tank brigades are going to just smash into the 2nd SS Police Regiment. And Battlegroup von Anhalt, it's nice having it there. I'm just a little worried that there's not enough right now. This unit can definitely attack the 2nd SS Police Regiment next turn. And that's going to be a tough old hold. Because we only have like Ziz 3s and then the bunkers. I really want to be able to attack these units. Maybe we just sort of bite the bullet here. And we use the 825th to run down the artillery. With the help of, say, I don't know, Battlegroup von Anhalt in phase B, because we'd have to win by phase C, which would be actually relatively difficult to do since most of my units would just be like running straight across the open. It's a tough choice. It's a tough choice. Because if we can attack these, remove the action points from these, that will also remove the action points from the 3rd Motorized Rifle Battalion, then we can attack into the 86th Cavalry Regiment and the 1436th Self-Propelled Artillery Regiment. And just push back that line for the time being. Yeah, definitely worth doing. So, let's try and work this out. Is there any other way we could do it? We do have 3 upper blitz here. And we do have Berezina that come in with trucks. I'm just thinking of like how fast we could potentially win if we maybe use like the upper blitz offensively to pick up our infantry and drive excuse me, drive forwards. I might just use Battlegroup von Anhalt as a backup in case. And then we'll use the 2nd SS Police Regiment and the 825th Territorial Infantry Battalion. Alright, let's go. This should be quick, but we will see. Oh, it is in fact breakthrough. Now that is actually kind of good for us, because it means that I don't have to transport trucks so far. I can just have a wall of infantry that runs forwards from the start. This is just ridiculous. There we go, we'll put a couple of MGs in here as well that can engage from a longer range. And then we might bring in some Superführer that can just be on the follow order. Same deal on this left side. And then we want a couple trucks that can push forwards early. We'll bring in Upper Blitz. Upper Blitz. And these can in fact pick up a couple units of infantry and yeah, just drive them forwards ASAP. Okay, cool. And that's as good as it gets. I guess I should have probably used Landesschutz and Ost instead of the Schupo. But that's okay. I'll grab these guys, attack move, grab these guys, attack move. These ones, attack move, and these ones, attack move. There we go. Slowly but surely, we'll take down the front line. Just pick up the Schupo. Transport some of these forwards early. We are going to have to actually be quite careful about where we unload these. We're just going to have some get a move on. I guess we could have done seize orders actually. That might have been a better idea than attack move. Actually no, probably not actually. Just because the seize order would have been slower overall. Seize order is great when you can take your time, but if you can't take your time, then no. I'm just going to use these to ferry units forwards. And just make ground as quickly as possible. And whilst we're doing that, we need to keep bringing in more and more units. More and more infantry to flood forwards. Pick up those 3 units of Schupo there. Those guys can get back into cover. This is quite a crazy battle actually, with the way that it is. Just keep these moving up. There is the PPSH squad there. We're gonna have to be careful of. There's also these like Dushka trucks that are hanging about that are kind of annoying. In Phase B we will get some Panda 35s and SPW ADGZs that we can use. So that will speed up the process a little. Oh, we're gonna have to be very careful here. Until we kill that truck. I can't move that Opel Blitz back. These guys can move up there and unload. Schupo may as well fall back. They can. Right, that Opel Blitz is pretty dead, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not yet. Hopefully those Schupo at close range can kill the Dushka. There we go. That's that down. Opel Blitz also needs to get into cover. Keep moving forwards with these Schupo. This is like so dangerous. The way we're doing this. Because if the Opel Blitz like blows up next to my infantry, then obviously it's like instant pin, so... Let's go and pick up some of these Landesschutz and Ost further back. There's a lot of F-22s there. Getting past those is going to be a pain. I'll get in there though. Slowly but surely. I've used a lot of these trucks to try and hold the front line. My MG engaging there. We got all of the Jupo shooting away. Engaging the Visivod there. Well, let's move up a Landeschützen Ost into their face. Again, risky, but we'll go for it. And they are already falling back. That is fine. Those even pick up a unit? No, they didn't. Alright, let's get the Landeschützen in there. And when the F-22s start engaging us from range, that's going to be a problem. That right side, we've pretty much captured all of it already, which is good. Gotta focus more on this left side. I have these Jupo push up the hill to the left. Alright, let's keep things sped up. We want to win by phase C. Although I guess if we get to phase C and they bring in the reinforcements, then the unit that comes in will get disorganized anyway, so not too bad. And by then we'll have so much infantry, it'll be so hard for them to push back. Come on, jump in your truck. Keep misclicking. Okay. Gonna use that right road just because of the F-22s being out in the open there. Things will certainly speed up when we start capturing more points. Those F-22s just like moved all the way back. They were here originally, I think. They're just retreating from our infantry advance. I'm not sure I really need to ferry more units up to the front anymore. It's only 5 minutes till victory. Let's just unload that one there. Just get the Opel Blitz back out the way. The absolute swarm. We can still bring in infantry if there's any left to bring. Well, there's plenty left to bring. We've just gone into phase B. 2 minutes until victory. So now we could potentially start using seize orders. If I put a seize order here, and they'll attack that area, and then set up a position there. Yeah, I was trying to get that Opel Blitz out of there, just in case those artillery shells decided to come in on top of the Landeschützen, and they did. That's it, that's all of the objectives captured, total defeat. Job done. Right, 11 minutes. Only 21 losses for them. But, Unsteady wins the race, I guess. That's going to destroy the ISU 152s. And also the other unit that backed them up. The artillery are now gone. Well, there's that. I think the 825th Territorial Infantry Battalion is in a pretty terrible spot right now because of the 31st Tank Brigade being able to attack them. But what I can do is attack into these units. But unfortunately, guys, it has been my time. So I'm going to leave it here. In the next episode, we'll break down the front a little bit again with some of our dug-in units, and then we can move on from there. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.